Okay, for the second part of this, it says, then scale the figure by 300%. That is, make another copy of the figure and multiply each of the side lengths by 3. Label the side length of each new side. So we're going to make a copy and we're going to multiply each of the side lengths by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and go back here. So I'm looking at my original right here, and I'm going to take each one of those, oops, sorry about that, each one of these, and I'm going to multiply it by 3. Multiply it by 3. So here we go. So I'm going to start with this top part. I always like to kind of start in the top left-hand corner. Oops, sorry about that. I didn't shut off if I get an email or the like, and that's what that banana noise is. So we're going to go ahead and mute that, and hopefully it doesn't mute me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start right up here with this. So I have, again, I'm counting in between the dots. So I have 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to label that. This guy here goes down 1, so that'll be 3 times as big as 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to start with this guy right here, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and label that. This, I'm going to just keep going on this part, I guess, so that I can actually enclose the figure and make sure that it is closed. That's one of those big ones to know that you might have made a mistake, is if it doesn't close, and that's why it's important to use pencil and not pen like I am. I just find it easier to see it under the document camera if I use pen. So I have 2 right here, so I need it 3 times as big, so 2 times 3 is 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I have this guy right here, which is 1, and 1 times 3 is 3. So I have 1, 2, 3. And then lastly, I have this guy right here, which is 2. So 2 times 3 again is 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is going to be my copy. And so I'm going to label it as such. Let's double check and make sure we did everything for A that it's asking at this point. So it says copy the original. We did. We scaled it by 300%. We did. We labeled the lengths of each new side. We did. What do you notice about the 2 figures? Note the sides and the angles. So both the sides and the angles. So as we're looking at this, what can you tell me about the angles? So if I look at this angle right here, and I have this angle right here, what can you tell me about those? So when I see both of these, granted my handwriting's not awesome today, I've been writing a lot, so I see 2 90-degree angles or 2 right angles right here. What about right here? What about this guy right here? And this guy right there? So in this case, when we're looking at those angles, are they the same or are they different? So when I'm looking at these 2 figures, they both have equivalent angles on here. This guy right here matches this guy right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my front page, and I notice on the angles, oh, that's not grammatically correct. Hang on a second. I notice the angles are equal. Or you can also put equivalent. Oh man, I can't spell today, so I'm going to say they're equal. Some days I'm a better speller than others, and I recognize I'm going way off track with that. So that's how I have such a great vocabulary, by the way, is because I'm a crummy speller. It's an area of growth for me, and so I learned how to find meaning in lots of different words so that I can just replace one with a similar word personally. one that I could spell. But I also wanted us to look at the sides. So I noticed about the sides as I'm looking at these. Tell me about what's going on with the sides. So this is my original, and I have this guy right here, which is 1. And then I have this guy right here, which is 3. So in this case, the sides are getting bigger from my original to the copy. They get bigger by how much? So they're getting bigger by 3 times as much. So the sides are larger by 3 times the length. I had to add length in there somewhere. I didn't like where I started that part. It's been a while since I taught this one. It's been a few weeks. So that's what we know. And that's kind of a definition of similar figures, is that our sides are going to be either larger or smaller by the same rate, but the angles remain the same. That's what keeps that same shape. Okay, let's double check, make sure we answered everything for A. We sure did. Excellent. We're going to be moving on to B next.